Hi, everyone. It is Fitz with your daily delivery after Kansas State's 34-20 victory yesterday at the Bill. And it's a beautiful night, getting ready to go down and have a little dinner in Aggieville. So I thought, let's just do it out here on the deck with the backyard in the background. And it was really good to see Avery Johnson relax and get into the flow because he hasn't been himself all year. And I think he would admit that. But having Dylan Edwards back, as I said in the postgame power talk, which you need to see along with the postgame podcast that Big B and Cole did, having Dylan back just really changes everything. I mean, now defenses have to account for a really explosive threat next to Avery in the backfield. And it did make a difference. But it was that opening drive when Avery kind of got back into the flow of the game because, and I say back because he hasn't been into the flow this season very much. It was a third down, and Kansas State's had empty possessions to start games throughout the season. And they're in another empty possession waiting to happen. But this time something was different. It was a pass play. It was designed that, Avery would stand in the pocket and find a guy open. But UCF chose to use man coverage. This means as the receivers go down the field, they turn their backs, as opposed to zone coverage in which they're facing the quarterback. And off went Avery, 25 yards up the middle, first down, extends the drive. 25 yards was the exact same distance, I believe, as the North Dakota run that won the game. See where I'm going with this? Having Avery as a legitimate running threat is huge for Kansas State's offense. And there's two elements to that. One is the read game or designed runs, those together. And those haven't worked because not having Dylan Edwards means they can just focus on Avery. He was the biggest run threat for the team. And honestly, the play designs didn't do him any favors either. With Dylan back, he had some success in the run game. But the real problem has been his reluctance to take the ball and run on scrambles. Now, the 25-yard run, which 2 plays later was a interception thrown by Lincoln Kier on a gadget play. I don't mind the play. He's a young guy. He shouldn't have thrown the ball, but we'll forgive him because it also established K-State is going to open up the playbook a little bit. Avery, later in the game, would pick up 5 yards on a scramble and take what should have been maybe a 3rd and 10 if he'd thrown an incompletion and made it a 3rd and 5, much more attainable. It's those little plays, those nuanced plays that Avery has been lacking this season. And a big reason why is he's never gotten comfortable running the ball this year. He's never felt like he's in a groove and in command. I asked him after the game about that play, and he said, it really did help relax me. It got my energy, my focus up. And for most quarterbacks, they want to get into the groove with a little short, easy pass, and it feels good. Kind of like shooting a free throw, get your stroke back. But for Avery Johnson, it's different. He's always been a running dual threat quarterback that's hyper athletic. So for him to kind of feel established and settled in, a 25-yard run, made a difference. And I want to credit the coaches. They put him in a little bit more peril this time. And Avery took some hits. But I also think that's good for him. As long as he doesn't get knocked out, injured, getting jolted a little bit makes you feel like you're playing football. He did do something I'd like to see him alter. He got hit pretty good one time, and he kind of laid there for a second. If you're injured or if you're having cobwebs, just stay down. But if you're not, don't sit there and say, "Wow, I got hit." Get up. Get up as quickly as you can. Send that message. But that's a little nitpicky on my part. Avery Johnson's stats. He ran it 12 times for a total of 75 yards. So 11 for 50 outside of that initial run and averaged 6.2 yards per carry. That's a pretty good day. He threw the ball 25 times, completing 18 for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long pass of 35. So outside of the Dylan Edwards run, there weren't a lot of explosives for K-State, which is also kind of good because the defense has been stranded on the field at times, partly of their own doing and partly because the offense doesn't possess the ball. The offense did possess the ball in this game, and having Avery as a run threat makes a world of difference. possession time in this game, K-State had the ball 32 minutes to 28. So they came out on top of that, and that really makes another difference for K-State. Be able to possess the ball, keep the defense rested. And I think we saw the results. At the end of the day, K-State's the better team. Maybe UCF's got better athletes. Avery noted that the defensive ends were big and long and played the read game extremely well. They've got some of those Florida dudes that are hard to find and hard to get out of Florida when you get offers from a school like UCF. But overall, I think K-State's got more guys, and they're better at quarterback, which was proven over the game. Avery hasn't been Avery this season. So to see him break free with a run like that so early changed the entire contest for Kansas State. We'll see what awaits for this offense. They've now put some things on film that Baylor will know about heading into Saturday's game in Waco. But having Avery back with Dylan is huge. Now they got to get Jace Brown healthy and JB Bradley healthy and some of these other weapons so they can be a complete full offense. And on top of that, I need to give a shout out to the offensive line that played so much better in this game, more inspired, and the coaches kind of focused on some different guys this time around. I expect to probably see some different starters on Saturday in Waco, but we'll see. There's a whole week of DDs and coverage coming from GoPowercat. Stick with us. But the Cats moved to 2-3 with a very much needed win, but even more importantly, needed signs of life from this team as a whole and the quarterback that should be playing a lot better than he is. Maybe this will get the corner turned and we'll see an even better version of junior quarterback Avery Johnson.